Casey, do you still follow a lot of the? Obviously, you probably do follow all this stuff. You want to drop any breaking news out here with the?
No, it's not like that. It's just that if we really want to talk about the A's and the value, it's because they play so many games, right? Like they play way more games than the Raiders played. They played more than the Warriors played. There's way more home games than the Ballers or the Roots. So I think that the value of the A's in Major League Baseball is just that they play so many home games that there's so many opportunities to come together and so many shifts for people to work. And I think that's a valuable thing for the community. I will say this, and I believe this wholeheartedly, that what is going to happen in Sacramento, and news came out today that they're talking about if the A's make the playoffs, they won't even play playoff games in Sacramento. I can't even think of a bigger slap in the face to those people. Wait, no, I can. They're going to play in Sacramento, and they're not even going to put Sacramento in the name, right? Like, how insulting is that? And so, when I look at the situation in Sacramento, I really truly believe that Sacramento is an amazing sports market. I know, Anthony, you're a Kings fan, aren't you? I mean, I think the Kings fans are great. They saved their team. I think Major League Baseball could absolutely work there, but I think what they're being offered up in the A's isn't right. And I think that what's going to happen is when they put artificial turf in Sacramento, because they can't have two teams playing a full schedule there, the River Cats and the A's, and keep that grass alive, because this is a fact. I looked it up. Sacramento is the sunniest city on planet Earth between the months of June and September. And when they put artificial turf
Wow.
on that field, it's going to be 30 to 40 degrees hotter than ambient temperature. And the temps are already up to 115 degrees out there. The second that happens, and Aaron Judge dives for a ball and burns himself alive, there are going to be changes, and they're going to happen fast. And I don't see Sacramento being the home of the A's for the next 3 or 4 or however many years, because it's an untenable situation. The commissioner at some point will have to step in. You saw just the other day Scott Boras, the biggest agent in all of baseball, calling this into question. I don't know where the MLB Players Union is at on this. I cannot believe they're not making a bigger stink. You're seeing players now realizing what the situation is going to be out there. They can put in all the upgrades they want. It's not going to change the fact that that's not going to be a tenable situation for Major League Baseball. And I think when people realize the situation, there are going to be conversations about where they go until and if Vegas is ready. And I'd like to hope that Oakland would be ready to step up to the plate if that happened again. And maybe ASEG at that point owns both halves of the Coliseum site. We know that they've just made a deal with the A's to buy their half. They worked well with them in that sale agreement. Who knows? I don't think it's over yet. I'm not crazy, I'm telling you. But I just don't think Sacramento, a minor league park on artificial turf, is going to work. They're trying to say, oh, it's the same turf they use at the Diamondbacks ballpark. Great. That ballpark has a roof. There's no roof in
Yep.
Sacramento.
Yep.
That's not going to work.
And it's grass. I thought it was grass over there in at Diamondbacks. That's
No,
what.
I think it's the same exact turf, as far as I know.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
but
it's such a like, and it boggles my mind. Like they want to not be here so bad that they're willing to just go through this whole embarrassment, and it's so frustrating because I know that the ballers are brand new and it's minor league baseball. I know that, but if they can move through all the bureaucracy and all the red tape in such a short amount of time, to me it just speaks volume to how the A's operate. You know what I mean?
Well, the
They,
A's could do that too. The A's could easily move through all that bureaucracy in just a short amount of time if they pay for it. That's what the Ballers did. The Ballers said, okay, we'll pay for it. I mean, granted, much different scales
all
here. I'm
right.
not trying to say that, 1.6 billion at Ramondi Park is the same as $1 billion ballpark on the waterfront. But if the A's were willing to pay for the infrastructure, pay for the project themselves, and not sit back and wait for the government to do work for them, then they would probably already be playing at Howard Terminal. If they wanted a ballpark and a ballpark only, and not a $6 billion mega development with commercial and all these other things. And the lights in my office just turned out.
Hey, what
got a
up?
little
Then
intimate over
Casey
there.
after dark, and they could have that.
Yeah.
So I just think
Man,
that when you look at that, yes, if you want to pay for it, there's a whole lot of stuff you can do. I'm going to turn the lights back on with my phone. Hold on.
if you're
Oh
not
man,
watching this,
technology.
man, this man just
Well, You know what I've always thought, and this is like what I've thought about like a lot of other major leagues. Like, couldn't there be, let's just say, the Pioneer Baseball League? All of a sudden, all these owners are kind of like, you know what? Screw MLB. Let's put more money into this product. Let's put more money into getting a major league status, right? Do you think that could ever happen? I mean, I always like I said, how come there's no other leagues to kind of compete against these? Because I see a great opportunity with the PBL because they have you know things that Major League Baseball doesn't incorporate until later on when it's all like when baseball's on a decline, whereas in the PBL attendance is in the upstart.
Yeah, I mean, it would take money and a lot of it. I mean, let's just say like Shohei Ohtani becomes a free agent and some crazy person offers him like $5 billion to play for a Pioneer League team. Maybe you take it and then you could do that. But it would take such an insane amount of money to do that. I don't know. I mean, but you know, I guess like you saw what happened with golf when they came up with this
Yeah.
whole other golf league and then it all fell apart. I think
No.
it fell apart. I haven't paid much attention to that, to be honest, but it'll take money and a lot of it. And then if you have money now, where do you play? Like what stadiums are you playing in? I don't know. I think it would be a lot, but I do like that there is at least a fun alternative, one with a home run derby after 9 innings or an automatic pitch challenge, ball strike challenge. I like the rules. And I like really enjoy going to these Pioneer League baseball games. And it's not like I think people look at the Ballers sometimes so incorrectly. Like they're not replacing the A's. Like the Ballers are not ever going to be the Oakland A's. The Pioneer League, sorry to disagree with your point a little here, Jorge, but they're never going to be Major League Baseball. It's not the same. Like it's an alternative, but it isn't a replacement. And I
Right.
think that, like some of our joy can be replaced by going to Ballers games, but it will never be the same thing. And I don't think they're trying to be the same thing. In fact, they're called the Bees for a reason. It's a joke, like on purpose.
I think the cool thing about the Ballers is, I mean, first of all, it feels really good going to a baseball game to where I don't have to worry about a team relocating. It just feels like fun. At the end of the day, it's just a game. The community's there, the vibes are great. It just shows that, I mean, you could build here if you just commit, instead of, and going back to your point, Case, about them playing in Sacramento where players are just gonna like combust on the field. Sacramento just had like one of their hottest summers in history. I just pulled up this I took a screenshot the other week because it was funny. So this is according to the National Weather Service, because we love facts here. It was the warmest summer, the second hottest July. It's the third all-time hottest high at 113. Was it in downtown Sac? The average temperature was 80 degrees, and in 2020 it was 79. It was the all-time warmest July, and they've had how many? 37 consecutive 100-degree days in downtown Sac. Have fun with that. With the Ballers, I just really it's I don't know. It's just like you said, it's not a replacement for the A's. That's how I look at it, and I also looked at it this way. In a perfect world, the Oakland A's would come back to Oakland and commit to Oakland, new ownership, this and that. If the Ballers were still in existence, I would still go to Ballers games. It's still fun. They still stand for Oakland. They still serve the community. So it's really refreshing to see a team do their city right. And they have good intentions, and everything that they're doing they're delivering. I mean, they said that they were going to make some mistakes along the way, a couple of bumps in the road, and of course, like look how fast that stadium took to get renovated. Look how fast the whole process was. So if you haven't been to a Ballers game, come out. I know playoffs are going on. This Thursday is going to be sold out. It's going to be great. So yeah, I mean, shout out to the Ballers, man.
Yeah, to circle back though to Sacramento, like I don't want to throw Sac under the bus completely. Like that heat's always been a thing, but they play on natural grass there. And the fact that they're going to have to switch it to turf is my biggest objection, because I actually think Sutter Health Park is really, really beautiful ballpark. I think it's a great AAA park.